It was a beautiful Saturday morning, and everything seemed to be normal. Little did I know today would change my life forever. I walked in my cousin's home and found him unconscious, and the blood had drained from his face, leaving it as white as snow. And his eyes were very constricted, like this picture, which you can't really see. And his skin was giving off a yellowish hue. He had puncture wounds all over his body, but especially the arms. I started to cry and panic. Not knowing what to do, I called my aunt, which was his mom. She then called an ambulance, and we rode with him to the hospital. The medical professionals assumed, based on experience, that it was a cocaine overdose. Cocaine overdoses lead to death, usually lead to death. According to the NDIA, there was more than 7,000 cocaine-related deaths in the nation, the highest number in the last 15 years. So we were thrilled once he came to in the hospital bed. Drug addiction is a major problem that many can't overcome. Luckily, Troy was strong enough to stop his addiction once he realized it was killing him. With an addict in the family, we had to adapt and learn new information to help him, but also us. Drug addiction is difficult to deal with, but in this speech I will give you information from first-hand experience. Ever suspect anyone using drugs in your family? Ask them about it, but you may not get the answer you're looking for. Many addicts tend to be in denial about their problem. Unfortunately, drugs cause people to act in mysterious ways, but those addicted need our help, and my cousin is a perfect example. He would lie about everything to get the pressure off of him. And as much as you want to, you can't trust them. Troy, my cousin, was addicted to so many different drugs, but he chose cocaine and Xanax more than any other ones. Once we found out there was an addict, our family was devastated. But now that he is clean, we are very proud of him for overcoming his problem. He was an addict for 5 years. During that period, not a single day went by where I wouldn't spend some time researching to see how I could help him as much as I could. Even though it's up to the person if they want to change. Troy has changed over the years, so we look at him as a teenager, an addict, and sober. As a teenager, he was very outgoing and had a lot of friends throughout school and in his neighborhood. Troy loved to be around others and thrived in the social setting, and he always loved to be the center of attention. He was active in life. He played basketball, football, and lacrosse. He was even the most valuable player in his championship lacrosse game. Being healthy was very important to him. He'd go to the gym daily and ate more fruits and vegetables than I ever did. As he was growing up, it was always his dream to join the military, more specifically the Marines. He even went to training for younger kids that aspire to protect our country. He knew what he wanted to do and how to do it, and he would always plan stuff beforehand to make sure everything would go smoothly, but sometimes drug addiction is unexpected. Troy changed when his parents divorced, and he was heavily influenced by the people around him. Now we will look at him as an addict. We began to notice that Troy didn't come around for family get-togethers, and when he did, he would be quiet and disappear throughout the day or night, doing who knows what. Drug addiction had a huge toll on his relationships, and he began becoming uncomfortable in social situations, which isn't like him. So when he would act abnormal, we would ask what's wrong with him, and he would just respond in an abnormal or in a monotone answer like nothing. Many of his friends in high school were involved with drug use. That makes it even harder to get out of. Ontario students from grade 7 to 13, 3.8% of them had tried cocaine. As his addiction went on, he started to lose his appetite. Weight loss is associated with cocaine because it reflects on its appetite-suppressing properties. And he had horrible hygiene, and he had to replace his decayed teeth with fake ones. These are kind of what they look like. A little bit more severe, but watching him go down this unforgiving hill broke our hearts, knowing that there's only so much we could do. He used to be a great conversation starter and could carry it on for hours. But once he got into drugs, his social skills declined and he began to isolate himself more and more. His thoughts were scattered, and trying to have a conversation with him was like listening to gibberish. Also, you could tell he was on something because he would slur his words or lose his train of thought and start on a completely different topic. Now that we have looked at him as a teenager and a drug addict, we will look at present Troy after being clean for a while. Troy was put into rehabilitation centers by his family, but to no avail. Finally, after hitting rock bottom, he made the decision for himself to attend rehab, and that was the first stepping stone to getting clean. He realized that he needed help and he couldn't do it on his own. Something changed his perspective on drugs at this rehab, and for the better. He's still not the same as I remember, but that could be due to him growing up and learning from his different experiences. He would come around and visit us more often. And began to build the bridges with his family. Although he gets lost in his thoughts from time to time, we know that he is a different person than before. Troy got his membership back at the same gym and started to get in shape. He even started eating a plant-based diet, which improved his health and also helped the environment. Living on his own with a steady income, he is on his way to living a fulfilled life. He didn't end up joining the military because of this obstacle in his life, and now he hosts NA meetings to help those in need. NA stands for Narcotics Anonymous, which is a meeting where addicts gather around in a circle and they talk about their problems and how they can fix them to get a better life. This is the story of my cousin Troy and his struggles that he overcame. I hope you can use this to help anyone who needs it. He has grown substantially, and I'm proud of my best friend. Drugs can change a person, usually for the worst. I am glad Troy has learned from his experience and has started on a new front. Be like Troy and learn that life is something to enjoy.